armed police officers from Cambridgeshire Police boarded the train and arrested 2 people. First male, a 32-year-old male, a black British national, and a 35-year-old man, a British national of Caribbean descent.
A Saturday night train from Doncaster to London turned into a scene of horror. 10 people were stabbed, 9 fighting for their lives, as chaos erupted aboard a crowded passenger train.
There's a guy stabbing literally everyone and everything. At first, there was a few of us kind of looking at each other like thinking, was it a joke, like it's Halloween, I'd be pranking. But then you could kind of see in their faces they were being serious. So I kind of got my stuff and I was running, and everyone was really pushing behind us, really panicking.
The attack began just after 1825 GMT, as the London North Eastern Railway service passed through Peterborough, heading for King's Cross. Witnesses say a man suddenly began stabbing passengers at random, moving between carriages as screams filled the train. Panic spread instantly. Passengers fled toward the front, some hiding inside toilets, others using their jackets to stop the bleeding of strangers. One witness recalled, "People were shouting, 'Run!' There's a guy stabbing literally everyone and everything." Another said an older man blocked the attacker from reaching a young girl and was stabbed in the neck.
So initially I had some screaming and shouting coming from at least a carriage or 2 down. And then I made eye contact with another passenger diagonal to me. And it was clear that something was going on. We didn't quite know what. And then a minute or so later, a man comes running down with a very clear wound, bleeding quite badly on his arm. And I thought it was like some sort of Halloween prank at first. But then he shouting that someone's got a knife, he was stabbed. And then a few more people come running down the train. And then I grabbed my bag and my coat, and then I got up and moved forward down the train after them, trying to get as far down the train as they can. And that was kind of initially when I was like, oh, okay, something's happened. I saw someone who was very badly injured, very lots of blood around them. They were either collapsed or like looking about, they were about to fall over. And people were trying to pass back hoodies and things to pack the wound.
I was in Coach H. I was literally just listening to Audible on my phone. And then I had guys suddenly run past going, "Run, run." There's a guy stabbing literally everyone and everything. At first, there was a few of us kind of looking at each other like thinking, was it a joke, like it's Halloween, I'd be pranking. But then you could kind of see in their faces they were being serious. So I kind of got my stuff and I was running, and everyone was really pushing behind us, really panicking. And at this point, I was kind of asking questions like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, who is it? And they were like, a guy's just stabbing everyone back there. And then I put my hand on this chair, like just trying to push myself forward. And then I look at my hand and it's covered in blood. And then I look at the chair and there's blood all over the chair. And then I look ahead and there's blood all on the chairs. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is pretty serious. And then it felt like literally forever. But eventually the train kind of stopped. And I thought it was actually in the middle of nowhere. And then I thought it was Stevenage, but it ended up being Huntingdon. Everyone's kind of running off. And then I get off the train and I'm thinking, okay, they're coming off from the far end of the train, which is on my right-hand side. So I thought that he might be there still. So I'm looking to my right and I just see 20 people in around 20 people in pure panic. There's 3 people severely bleeding. And one guy's holding his stomach and there's blood coming down his stomach, down his leg. And he's just going, help, I've been stabbed. So I've seen 2 people trying to help him. There's a few of us in a group that are running away, and we all get out. By the time we kind of completely get out of the train station, we run from the train station past the traffic lights, and we're just kind of sticking together but watching it unfold. And to be fair, pretty quickly the police have come. There's about 8 police cars going straight in, and I didn't actually see what happened with the guy. I think he was arrested. Apparently there was 2. I only knew of 1 at the time.
The train was heading from Newcastle to King's Cross. There's a good chance that those involved directly in the incident aren't constituents, but obviously this incident taking place here has raised huge concerns. I've been contacted by a number of people already. I'll be offering reassurance and making sure that we can deal with any local incidents that fall out as a result of this. But my thoughts stay firmly with the victims and those who've been involved in this terrible incident. I think I can't see any further than that at this point in time. It's simply a terrible incident and one that's involved any number of innocent people, and my thoughts are with them. I think until we know more information about the nature of the incident and the motives behind the attacker, it's going to be very difficult to understand exactly what's taken place and why. It seems to be almost pure chance that the attack took place whereabouts it did, given the length of journey that the train was on, and we don't know anything more about why the attacker did what he did and took those actions. So really just waiting for more information, but trying to give people reassurance. I doff my hat to the first responders when I got here. The nature of the emergency response and the scale of the response was hugely impressive. And given the nature of the incident and how serious it was, extremely brave of those first responders to be able to come here and neutralise the threat so quickly.
Within minutes, the train made an unscheduled stop at Huntingdon. Armed police stormed aboard. 2 suspects were arrested, and 1 was reportedly tasered on the spot. Air ambulances and over 20 police cars flooded the station. The injured were rushed to Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge, most in critical condition. Authorities declared a major incident, with counter-terror police joining the investigation.
It's a shocking incident, and first and foremost, my thoughts are with the family and friends of those who've been affected and those who are injured. At approximately 7:42 p.m. yesterday evening, there were calls to the police service in relation to multiple stabbings which took place on board a train service that departed Doncaster at 6:25 p.m. and was en route to London King's Cross Station. Officers immediately attended Huntingdon Station alongside paramedics, where armed police officers from Cambridgeshire Police boarded the train and arrested 2 people. Within 8 minutes of the 999 call being made, 2 men were brought into police custody, where they remain this morning. I can tell you that these are the first male, a 32-year-old male, a black British national, and a 35-year-old man, a British national of Caribbean descent. They were both arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. Both were born in the United Kingdom. As stated, they remain this morning in separate police stations for questioning. 10 people were taken to hospital by ambulance, and another person self-presented later that evening. While 9 were initially believed to have life-threatening injuries, following assessment and treatment, 4, thankful to say, have been discharged. However, 2 patients remain in a life-threatening condition. British Transport Police declared a major incident yesterday, and counter-terrorism policing were initially supporting our investigation. However, at this stage, there is nothing to suggest that this is a terrorist incident. This is a British Transport Police investigation, and we continue to work to establish at pace the full circumstances and the motivations that have led to this incident. At this early stage, it would not be appropriate to speculate on the cause of this incident. As you can see, the station this morning remains closed. However, we expect trains to be passing through the station this morning. Passengers will see a high visibility presence of police officers at stations and on trains throughout today, up and down the transport network. Our officers are there to reassure the public and to address any concerns they may have. I'd like to thank the public personally for their patience and their cooperation. Yesterday evening, which has already greatly assisted our investigation through the help the public have tendered, as well as the multi-agency response partners from colleagues in other blue light services. I'd like to extend my thanks to our colleagues within Cambridgeshire Police, the East of England Ambulance Service, Cambridgeshire Fire and Rescue Service, and Counter-Terrorism Policing. And finally, I'd like to appeal for anyone that's watching who has information connected to yesterday's incident, however big or small you feel that may be, that has not yet spoken to police to make contact. You can do so by texting the British Transport Police on 61016, that's 61016, quoting reference 663 of the 1st of November 2025.
At one point, Officers even used the code word Play-Doh, the national signal for a possible terror attack, though that alert was later rescinded. Prime Minister Keir Starmer called the attack appalling and deeply concerning. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood urged calm and warned against early speculation. And opposition leader Kemi Badenoch said she was horrified, asking why knife violence continues to rise across Britain. As of Sunday morning, Huntingdon Station remains sealed off. Forensic tents line the platform, and investigators are still piecing together what drove this act of terror or madness.